Welcome to Do the Talk podcast. This is a real estate podcast that teaches regular people like you how to invest in real estate. I am your host, Ibrahim Ojerinde, and my co host today is Amir Lawal. We are committed to make real estate investments seamless as much as possible. So, if you like to learn and grow in real estate investment, you have come to the right place. Ahmed, how are you doing today?
I am doing great.
Fantastic.
Earlier in the week, I was feeling under the water, but yeah,
Yeah,
fighting
sorry.
back. It's
Sorry.
just the weather. But yeah, we always do every Friday. We are back just to share another real estate gist, real estate knowledge, real estate gems
Sure.
about how people can navigate this investments vehicle, right? So guys, we do this live just for you guys to be able to engage, ask your questions so that we can address them live. We don't just want to be throwing recording to you and leave you in the on a no man's land, not able to ask your questions. So that is why we do this live, right? So we want you guys to please let's make this interactive by throwing question at us, and we try our best to make sure we answer all of your questions. Anyone that we can answer right now, we're going to go back, do the research, bring the raw work for you because we want to make this seamless, right? And also, you can do us a great favor because this is free information, right? The only thing we are asking is you go on all the podcast platform, Google Podcast, Apple, YouTube. We are on YouTube. We are streaming live on YouTube right now. You can go anywhere and find us. Click like, comment, and leave your review and questions that you might have, and we will be very happy to treat those questions. All right, back to the topic. So, Ibrahim, today we are trying to, you know, stay within the current, stay within what is going on right now. We all know this is a tax season, right? And people are getting ready to get all these huge bucks in their bank accounts. And like, oh, it always happen, this has happened to me in the past. I've always have something. Oh, I want to buy a brand new shoe, I want to buy a brand new watch, I want to buy a brand new clothes, things like that. And at the end of the day, we don't end up getting value out of that money. So we at Do the Talk, we don't want that to happen this year because our people need to stop thinking about now and planning for the future, right? So that is why we decide to do this. I want you to get us started, and by just tell us. Some people get huge amount of money, some people get small amount of money, but however it is, we both know that anything you get can still work in real estate. So tell us how people can make value out of their tax return or any chunk of money that they have by investing in real estate.
Thank you. That is very interesting question, and I'm sure everybody would like, everyone who is here with us and some of our audience that will join later on would like to see how they can navigate and utilize this tax refund that so many people are going to get. You see, tax refund, the way I look at it, is like a money that like a extra money that is coming from the government, even though it's my money, but it's coming. I don't look at it as a money that I'm gonna spend on like my daily stuff, like I want to buy groceries and other stuff. I don't look at it that way, because every single week or every 2 weeks
Yep.
most of us get paid.
Yep.
My situation is a little different because I'm a realtor, but in general, we get paid every single or every 2 weeks. So it's a very good idea that we see it as the monthly payment or the weekly payment that we get is for the daily drivers, is for the daily stuff that we buy. However, our tax return should be the money that we need to channel into an investment portfolio or an investment avenue where you can maximize that refund in order to be financially free whenever you plan. Some people plan like three, in the next 5 years, 10 years, 6 years, 20, whatever years you plan. The more aggressive you are channeling that money, the quicker you get financially independent. Now, let me go back a little bit. What are we talking about yet? I mean, I just mentioned it. We're talking about tax return. Okay, how do you use it? How do you utilize it? I mean, we know people get different amount of money. I mean, some people get 15,000, some people get 12,000, some get five, some get three. In fact, some get $100. Okay, so yeah, so we are not here like just talking and without being practical. We know what is going on. Practically, everyone get different amount. Now, for those that are getting little amount or to no amount, how can they do it? And for those that are getting chunk big amount, how can they do it? We are here, we're going to talk about all that. Now, first of all, let's look at those that are getting sufficient amount. I can go from like 8,000 to 15,000. What do you do with this money? Majority of people, I mean, majority of household with children and everything get like 8 to 15. Okay, how can you channel this money? So there are a lot of investment out there, but you guys know I have a bias, or I have my how do I call it? My favoritism, perception towards real estate, because I
Absolutely.
believe so much in real estate. It's been tested, proven, and I am testing it, and it's working for me. So I need someone else to prove me wrong in real estate or show me another business that is constant and tangible like real estate. Then I might think about it. Well, for now, it's the only investment vehicle that I really I'm sold. I'm totally sold into it. Now, why am I saying this? I know for sure when you get your 8 grand, you can use that to start real estate investment. How can you do that? Okay, I'm gonna give you some example. Let's say you get 8,000 from the IRS, and let's say you have no extra money in your pocket. Okay, there are some areas that you might have money or you might be able to get money. Okay, that you might have to tap into. Now, let me go the worst case scenario. You don't have that area. I'll let Ahmed treat that area where you have that those extra funds somewhere. But we'll go to the worst case scenario. You only have that 8,000. What do you do? Okay. The first thing I'll tell you to do is to reach out to someone who is doing real estate, who is a real estate professional. In this case, I would say reach out to, real estate agent. Let that person know you are trying to buy investment property. However, you only have $8,000. How can you do it? There are different ways, but you have to be flexible. When I mean flexible, I'm saying it's possible that you get $0 down payment, okay, where the down payment is $0. However, you have to pay for closing costs. So closing costs might cost you, it's FHA, might cost you about maybe 6,800. Is it possible to even get the seller to pay your closing costs? It's possible to get the seller to pay everything or part of your closing costs, which means you might end up paying just $1,000 or $2,000 and you own a property. Now, this applies to someone who does not have any property at all. Like this is your first property, because you go in with FHA 3.5%. You can do zero down program. Okay. Now, if you do the zero down program, that is, if you have good credit, like decent credit, and your debt to income ratio, because you've been working for 2 years or above, is working, it's possible that you don't even need the seller to give you any amount of money, because these programs, they can give you as high as 6% of the purchase price, and the loan or the underwriter will channel 3% towards your down payment and 3% towards your closing costs. Now you have a home, you have an investment property. I must say, with FHA, the goal is not for investment property. But then you know that this property that you are buying, you're probably gonna buy another one just because, hey, there's a job in another state that you're eyeing, or hey, your fiance is in Chicago, and one day you're gonna get married. Go ahead and buy the house, because in that situation, or in this scenario, you have not violated any rules or FHA laws, because they literally will let you, at least as long as you stay in the house for 1 year, they will let you buy the house. And if you have to move to another location, especially in another state, you will be fine. In fact, you'll be able to get another FHA, but in this case, the next one will be 5% instead of 3.5%, because your situation change. So it's part of their clause. When your situation change, you are good. So let's do some numbers. Let's say you want to buy a house of 225,000 with a FHA loan. Okay, the 3.5% is the minimum that you have to put to the table. So 3.5% will be 7,875. Now I'm talking about the program that you have to come up with your down payment. And don't forget, you have $8,000. Okay. Now when you put down 7,875, it means you don't have closing costs. Okay. This is where you need to work with a real estate agent and explain to them your situation. That way, that agent can negotiate your down your closing costs with the seller. That way the seller pays your closing costs. And all you have to come out of pocket with is the 7,875. Okay. So now you got a key, you got a house. You just bought a house of $225,000 in a good neighborhood. I mean, it might be a bungalow, a starter home in a good neighborhood. Of course, it will be around that price because it's in a good neighborhood and it's a bungalow. Okay, now you just got a home. Live in that house for 1 year. You can house hack it. FHA has no problem with that if you're house hacking it, as long as you are still in that house. You can rent 2 rooms out and you are still living in that house. They're still good with that. Now, if you have to move, you have to change, as long as you stay there for 1 year, they are cool with that. That way, you can go back to the same FHA and get a loan, probably for something even bigger. You can get a duplex, you can get a 3 unit, you can get a uh, you know 4 unit in another state that has a lot of multi-families. So what am I getting to? I'm saying that your 8,000 can be productive if you choose to make it productive. That's what I'm saying tonight. Now, let's go to a scenario where you know you get just maybe $100 or maybe $500 or 1,002. Okay, the same a house of 225,000. Your down payment, if you're gonna do down payment, is still 7,875. But then don't forget, I just mentioned that there's a program where you can do zero down. So when you qualify for that, that means you don't even have to pay the one. Your 1,200 is just gonna be in your pocket. You know, provided that you have a good credit score like 640 or higher, and you are currently working, you get a house. Now you can use your 1,200 to actually register an LLC, or for the inconvenience. Okay, it looks like we are back. We just have a little glitch. Um, Ahmed, can you hear me? Ahmed, can you hear me? Hello, Ahmed. Yeah, we're really sorry about that. Um, try to get this fixed as soon as possible. We are working on it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Ahmed will join us. As I was saying, you can do the zero down program where your, 1,200 or $900 that you received from the IRS, you wouldn't have to use it because you apply for a program that it's literally zero down. Okay, so what they will require to do, at least live in that house so you can house act. Sorry, we apologize for the inconveniences. Just a little glitch, and we are back. I mean, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Okay, great, great, great. So, all right, guys. So, as I was saying, you that you are getting just 900 or 1,200, it's okay. All you have to do the zero down program, get a property, house act the property, take one room and rent out three or two rooms, whatever room left you have, rent it out, get money from that every month. When you do that for like a year or um or 2 years, depending on how aggressive you want to be with this business, then you can buy another house. you know you can choose to go conventional. The next one, you do it with 5%, and guess what? You are going to use the money you've raised from the house hacking for your down payment. Now you have two homes, you have two properties, one for your investment. If you choose, the second one can also be house hacked. It's up to you. The more discipline you are, the more your risk tolerant, the higher your risk tolerance, the quicker you get to where you're going. So um and if you want to buy a property that is more expensive than 225, that's okay, as long as it's working for your business strategy. Let's say you want to buy a house of 250. All you need as a down payment is 807 8,750. That's all you need. With the closing cost, it's 15,550. Because some situation, the seller might not accept your offer for the seller to pay some seller credit. They may not accept it because at the end of the day, the seller owns the property. He or she owns the property. So my point is that you have to know what you want, reach out to a professional that is doing what you want, and explain to them this, your current situation, and see how you can leverage your tax refund to become financially independent. I mean, we all want to be financially independent. That's what we are. We continue to educate everyone, including you, on this podcast. You can get there. All you have to do is one at a time, start the process, get started. Do not stay at the back. You have to use your tax refund for something productive this year. and
Absolutely.
and you're gonna thank yourself later after you do that. After you start, you've done that, you will thank yourself later. So Ahmed, I mean, I just talked about people that they've got like 8,000 and the big money and all that. But there are some people, we know that some people, they only get 300, and some people, they don't even get anything, just because of maybe the way they position themselves on their taxes and everything. Or they only get 2,000, and 2,000 will not do anything. What are other ways? What are other avenue they can leverage to get this money, because you and I know that some seller will not give you seller credit. They'll tell you no, they cannot do that. And at the end of the day, you cannot force them. They own the property. But you don't want to. We don't want our audience to be in a box where we want them to feel like, okay, they have a lot of options, and you know that these options are available, but some people are not aware. So please let us know what are other area that people can leverage.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ibrahim, for sharing all this knowledge. And sorry, guys, for the glitch. I have to go out and come back multiple times. So, I
So
just to answer your question, I mean, it's there's so many ways you can make money in real estate. That is the power of real estate. That is what is very interesting about real estate. There's just so many ways. Just think about it and make it happen, and you make money. That is how easy it is. So if someone doesn't have a lot of money and they are interested in real estate, why not? They can jump into real estate. It might not be traditional way that people, when you call real estate, how people think about real estate, but they are still getting money from real estate. Okay, for example, you mentioned 2000 earlier. I know this will sound crazy, but there are a lot of wholesalers
sure.
that get seller. When I say seller, seller that want to sell their distressed property under contract, they want to assign that contract as well. However, they don't have what we call honest money. Honest
Oh,
money shows your intent, good intent of buying that house. So
yeah.
they don't even have honest money. And if they can get that honest money, open escrow, close on this property, they will be making an average wholesaler on a deal is making 10,000 or 15,000. I'm not really sure on the number, but let's say 10,000. If someone is making 10,000 on a deal and they don't even have 1,000 to put that house in escrow, what I mean by escrow is when you go to a title company and you open an account of the process of closing on that house, of buying that house from the seller. That is what we call escrow. They don't even have 1,000 of opening escrow. You will be asking me, how do I come into play in this kind of scenario? Let me explain. If you can lend them 1,000 just for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they are going to give you 1,000 out of their 10,000 return they are making, would you do it? 100%.
It means you are getting double. You're getting two grand,
Which
1,000.
business are you going to do within that space that will double your money?
That's hundred
So,
percent interest.
so you can do this on however time you want. You know, there's no limit to it. All you need to do is to market yourself, put yourself in a position. That is why we talk about networking, connecting, being among people that are actually doing this. Because if I don't know you are somewhere and I have a house under contract, there's no way to find you, right? It's just like any other business. You need to create awareness for people to know you're actually doing that business, for them to reach out to you when they actually need your service. So if you can create enough awareness, which is basically we all create Facebook page, Facebook posts, Instagram post every now and then, right? Why
Yeah.
don't you just post it? Hey, if you are a wholesaler and you are in need of honest money, I can lend you that money. Please and please. This is a business for certain people that actually do it right. Make sure you get your paperwork right if you want to do this. Because your money you can actually lose your money if you don't get your paperwork right. Also, you need to check the track record of that person you are lending your money to. If they are a shady wholesaler that doesn't close on people's deals, that just puts sellers on under contract and they don't perform on that contract, you don't want to have a business with them as well, because their track record just show you that they are shady and they are going to leave you hanging. And of course, we want you to make money on your money. That is why we are doing this. We don't want you to go and lose your money. So, what I'm trying to say is do your due diligence. and make sure you have a good paperwork that will get you your money. In fact, you don't need to talk to that wholesaler. What you need to do is talk directly with the title company. That is one. I don't want to dig deeper. We can do a whole episode on that. Another one is JV. Why not? Recently, I saw a video on Instagram of three young guys. They are around 20, 21, 22. They are in college in Ohio, and they actually buying real estate together. The three of them, they are actually buying real estate together. All you need to do is do your due diligence. Know who you are going to battle with. We always say that in the army. If I'm going to the battle with you, I better know you better, because if you are someone that you hear a gunshot and you run away, I don't want to go to war with you. So really know who you are investing with, and also have your paperwork right. Last 2 weeks, we did something about business, real estate business structuring. We talk a lot about paperwork, how you can structure things. You open an LLC, make sure you have your resolution agreement, make sure you have your operating agreement, make sure you have everything documented before you even started the JV. What do I mean by JV? Joint venture. We call it joint venture. Joint venture is when two or more people come together to actually make one go happen. Like, I want to buy real estate, I don't have enough money, and Ibrahim, I saw this house, I sell him on that house. Like, Ibrahim, if we buy this house together, this is how much we're going to be making every month. This is how much we're going to be, our equity is going to be. I sell Ibrahim on that dream. Ibrahim buys that dream, and guess what? We are both the owner of that house. That is how JVE works. But just because I know Ibrahim, just because it's my partner and do the talk, doesn't mean I'm just going to put my money down with Ibrahim without having the right paperwork done.
Yeah.
Without doing my due diligence, like, okay, does Ibrahim have the track record of coming through whatever I promised? So that is what you need to do. It's just like any regular venturing you are going into, right? So make sure you do your due diligence on these two that I mentioned. The first one is called Gator lending. You're actually taking a chunk. You know how Gator, they hit in chunks, right? You're taking a chunk of some people's profits by investing shortly for a short period of time. I know someone that makes 600,000 by just doing Gator lending this year. Just investing in other people's. It doesn't have to look for deal. It doesn't have to comp deals. It doesn't have to buy. It doesn't have to close on anything. By just investing on other people's deals, and it make chunk all across. So that is the two methods. Just to answer your question, coming back to the topic, if someone, it's really funny. Let me approach it this way. It's really funny how people think real estate is different from every other investment. Like, they are expecting you, okay, maybe because of all these social media influencers that are painting it like, hey, you make huge amount of money, you're gonna do this. Real estate can be that, but not all the time. Can be just like what they describe, but not all the time. It's a lot of time. It requires you to put in a lot of effort. So what I'm trying to point out by saying that is, don't think you're just going to buy one house and you don't have to work for the rest of your life. It doesn't work that way. There are ways, there are methods that if you can master them, one house can be bringing in 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, even 5,000 a month, right? But if you just think buying one house and that's it, I should be fend for the rest of my life, it doesn't always work that way. I'm doing that to set your expectation, but think about this. If someone tells you that do this consistently, invest your tax return for the next 5 years consistently, and you will never have to work again in your life, would you do it? I'll do it. I'll do it 100% always, right? So why do I say that is, if you can, Ibrahim, I'm going to steal this from you. I'm stealing this from you. You said this to me yesterday. If you can be committed and you can be consistent with real estate for 10 years, take note of those two statements. Those two words, sorry. Committed and consistent with real estate for 10 years. After 10 years, real estate will take care of you. So it's just like you have a baby, and the day one you are thinking that baby will be able to take care of you. No, right? That's not going to happen, right? I don't know if it is some prophet
Miraculous,
or something,
miraculous babies.
but you have to nurture it. Any business, you have to create it, nurture it, grow it before it actually turns around and started bringing value back to you, which is, taking care of your bills, taking care of your luxury life that you've always want to live. That is how it works. So what we are actually saying is, stop thinking about now that, oh, I can easily go to this with my 10,000, 8,000, 5,000 I'm getting tax return. I can easily go to Dubai. I can easily go to Santorino. What are you going to get after you travel there? The pleasure. That is it. When you come back to going to your 9 to 5. That is not the good way to approach it. A better way to approach it is actually investing that money consistently now, whereby when those time comes, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line, you can actually travel to Dubai, come back, travel to England, come back, travel to France consistently without having to worry about work, paying my bills, or anything anymore. That is the power of real estate. That is the value that real estate can bring to you. If only you can stay consistent and committed to it. So, no matter how small the money you are getting from your tax refund, return, or whatever it is this year, if only you can invest that money, start investing that money now, the earlier you start, the earlier your retirement is coming closer. We all dream about it, financial freedom. We all do. So, another point I want to make, thank you, Ibrahim, is there are a lot of other money you can combine with your what's it called? With your tax return to actually make a huge amount of money. Thank God we live in Indiana. Indiana is developing so fast
Rapidly.
that in the next 5 years, this opportunity will not be around anymore. This opportunity will not be around in the next 5, 6 years anymore. I'm going to come back to that if we have enough time, but let me go straight into it. Do you know, if you have a job that you have a 401k, do you know you can actually get a loan against your 401k? Let's say you have 20k in your 401k right now. You have you have an advantage of taking 10,000 out of your 401k, half of it out. You will be paying back, but it's still your money, right? Take a loan against it, tax free, and join with your 5,000, 10,000. Now you have the 20% that you need to buy the house. If you look very well in this Indiana, you can find a house of 70,000, 80,000, up to 150,000 that doesn't need a lot of work, that you can actually put a tenant in there right now while you are fixing it up. Or if you want, you can get a private money lender that can give you some money to fix it up, and you collect the rent, started paying them back. When you finish paying their money, guess what? Now you can start collecting that money for yourself too. So you just have to get creative. There's a lot of way. That is one. Do you even know we have something called ELOC, own equity line of credit? If you have a house that you've lived in for certain period of years, this work with your primary resident. Let me point that out. So you can actually take an ELOC against your equity in the house, join it with your tax return. Now you have a lump sum of money that you can use to invest, and the money you are getting from your investment, use it to pay your ELOC back. That way, before you know it, you pay that off. Now that house is bringing you what? All everything that the house is bringing, it's your cash flow, aside from the mortgage or the debt that you put on the house, if there's any. Okay, I've talked about 401k loan. I've talked about ELOC. Another one is actually equity loan. It works the same like ELOC. However, if you get an there are multiple things that are different. One is this one comes with a fixed interest rate. ELOC comes with a
Adjustable.
adjustable interest rate. Thank you, Ibrahim. Also, this one, the day you withdraw the money, you get the money from the bank. That is when you start paying.
Yeah.
With ELOC, it's different. With ELOC, if you don't spend that money in 6 months, you are not paying a dime. It's just like a credit card. Not until you spend your credit card, that is when you started paying. If you don't spend it, there's nothing to be charged, right? So those are additional money that you can leverage with your tax return to make it a lump sum of money that you can use to invest in real estate. Why real estate? Well, there's stock, there's crypto, there's bond, there's shares, there's so many other things. Well, the difference between real estate and all these other investment vehicles is you can control real estate. You cannot control if stock is going to go up or down. That is out of your control. You cannot do that. But you can determine what is the market rent here. Okay, I want to charge the market rent. Okay, I'm giving the house to Ibrahim, is my brother. I'm not going to charge him the market rent. You are the major determinant of whatever is going to happen with your investment in real estate. Keep in mind, real estate might not be so liquid like other investments. If you want to sell your house, there are process you need to go through, and it's not quick. That is the selling point of everybody that do other investment vehicle against real estate. That, oh, it is not liquid, but it is the most reliable, it is the most proven, and it is where you have the most control. So I think I've talked about being consistent. If you have a small money, how you can get other money around, merge it to make it a lump sum, and also stop thinking about now. We just need to get out of that mindset if we need to grow, including myself. I'm talking to everybody, to myself right now. So don't think I'm talking to you anyhow. No, including myself. We need to stop thinking about now and start thinking about the future. Look at what the economy turns to. Look at what food turns to. Everything that we buy is going up every day. That means our pay, our 9 to 5 pay, at some point is not going to be enough again. So please and please, let's stop thinking about now and prepare for the future. Ibrahim, any additional thing to?
Yes. I mean, you mentioned all the benefit and the reason why real estate is very is the proven and tested and the preferred investment for the billionaires. I'm not even talking about millionaires right now. Billionaires, millionaires, thousandaires, like people that are really into it. No matter what kind of business you are into, check all these, you know, wealthy people. They put chunk of their wealth into real estate. Why?
Absolutely.
Because it's steady, it's tangible. You can control it, like Ahmed said. No matter what the economy is saying, okay, if you have a fixed loan, it's fixed.
Yeah.
Now, as a owner of the property, you control what you want to get. Of course, if there's a crash, the economy is down and everything, it might affect how high you can go with money. However, keep in mind, before real estate crashes, all that kind of investment like crypto, you know, a bond, mutual fund, stock, and all those stuff, forget about those. They're dead already. Those are dead already. If we, because imagine what happened like 2, 3, 4 years ago. Stock went down, like crazily went down, but real estate survived it. In fact, when real estate, this is very interesting. During the COVID, real estate is supposed to die
Yeah.
because all those materials and everything, majority are made in foreign countries, China.
But
But
it
guess what?
went crazy.
Oh my God, it went crazily up because real estate involves a lot of factors. It involves a lot of people, a lot of livelihood.
Yeah.
Look at
Absolutely.
carpenter, look at surveyor, look at tax, like even the city tax men and everybody, they have to feed on something, they have to eat. The
Yeah.
tax, you guys actually know that the taxes they get from you, from your property, is what they use to pay the police, the emergency people services, the fire services, the like the people that are fixing the road. Like they use a huge chunk of property taxes to maintain the city. That is where they get a chunk of money from. Imagine each houses is paying like 1,000, maybe 600 every 6 months. Count the houses just in Marion County. Go ahead and count the houses. It's a lot. So they make, you know, I don't know the numbers, but they make a lot of money from property taxes because that's what they use to maintain the city, the state, even the country. It's huge. So real estate, they don't joke with real estate. The government knows that if real estate crashes, the economy is in trouble. Every other thing else can crash. The country may still survive it, but when real estate crashes, it's gonna be a big trouble. Now, where am I getting to? We always say, okay, real estate is tangible, you can make money from it. Of course, we know out there a lot of people are saying they only make, I have property too, I only make $300. I only make $500. My sister, my brothers, is because you have not maximized your investment.
100%.
I'm not saying this because I want to sweet talk this. I'm telling you the fact. And all you have to do, if you doubt me, is to reach a property manager. Don't even go too far. I'm telling you this. Don't go too far. Ahmed is right there. He's gonna show you a proven strategy to make more money in your investment. Do not go too far. Just call Ahmed. Hey, Ahmed, I have a property. I'm only getting $150. I'm only getting $200. What can I do to get more money? In fact, I'm tired of this guy calling me for the sink is bad, the toilet is bad.
Yeah.
What can I do? I'm very confident. He will tell you what to do so you can maximize your profit, get money
Yep.
from your, get a lot of cash flow, and you have a peace of mind. Now, I mean, you have to forgive me on this, but we need to show our audience what is going on in real estate because whenever we just talk about, oh, there's enough cash for this, it's like we're just talking. I'm going to show you guys 11,384 dollars enter my account today from um 11,384.42 cent, and this is coming from Shedwick today. Okay, this is just one property. And this is just 2 month transaction. This is not like for the whole year. No, because there are different ways you can make a lot of money in real estate.
Let them
Okay.
know.
Yeah, trust me, Ahmed. I'm not showing this to brag. I just want people to know that for real, there are strategies. They have to reach
Yeah.
out to people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Because we know there are some people out there, they only make $300, bro.
Yep.
But then,
That is if the tenant pays.
yes, and they just stuck with that. Now they are
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah.
What can they do? Reach out to someone who is doing it, someone who knows
Yeah.
how to do it. I made this right there. It's your property. All you have to do, give them a call. make a consultation. He will tell you how to maximize the profit, because at the end of the day, it is your investment. Now, when you have that investment, you need to connect with someone that will make your investment efficient and profitable as much as possible. Of course, it won't cost you anything. Just give a call and see what you
Yeah.
can do. Now, so I show that money for people to know that there are different ways you can maximize your profit. Anyway, let's go back to this tax. It's very important. We want you to use your tax, use it in a productive way, so that you can thank yourself later in the future.
Yep.
Before they go, okay, let's say the American government says, okay, they are not giving no tax return, or what are you gonna do? There's nothing. You've been surviving without this return. You've been going to work, doing your overtime, and you have been living well, adequately with your family. Why don't you use that money and channel it to something that will fetch you cash flow? Build your equity in the future. And
Yep.
guess what? You can leverage that equity and buy another property again. Okay, you are one of those that are worrying about, okay, how can I manage it? I don't know who's gonna help me. Okay, trust me, worry less.
Yep.
All you have to do is reach out to a property manager, a tested one. I can tell you the one I can vouch for, Ahmed, which is Azio Property, will take care of that for you. Don't even worry about that. All you have to do, give him a call. Then you guys do consultation. It tells you your cash flow. It tells you how you can maximize your profit, and give him some time and see the result. So
Yep.
please, we want you guys to take action this year. Your tax return will be a huge factor in setting you up for that financial freedom. We all want to get there. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm really I'm dying to get there,
Yep.
because I put in all my effort, because I know when I get there, it's gonna make a huge difference in my life and my family life.
Not just you, bro.
Yeah, my family lives. Everybody will be, will feel better. It's one thing to be like, hey, I'm tired at work. I want to go vacation. 3 days, you run off, you're back. And
Yeah.
you're back to go to time again. No, I don't want to worry about that, bro. I want to
Yeah.
go vacation and come back. And while I'm there, money is running into my bank account.
Yep. That's it.
What kind of investment can give you that? I mean, all that kind of investment, but this one gives you rest of mind because it's tangible.
Yeah.
You can come back from your vacation, and you know feel like, okay, now since the rate or the economy is better, or since I've been charging below the market rate, like, I mean, rent, you can increase your rent.
Yeah. It's your decision.
Yeah. Though do the talk, we don't advise you to be reckless and insensitive. No, that's not the point. What we are trying to tell you is that you control your asset in real estate.
Yep.
And the better you do, the more knowledgeable you are, the more connected you are, the more resourceful you are, the more cash flow you're gonna get. And
Absolutely.
can it be passive? 100%. And that's why there's a property manager. 100% can be passive. Just reach out to someone who is knowledgeable in doing this, and they're gonna help you out. Ahmed,
Yep.
what do you have to tell our audience that you know they look at the $300? Oh, that's a little amount of money. Even though I get property manager, um you know if it gives me 300, it's still little, without considering some other factor like taxes, like all those other factors that helps with their W2 income. How would you advise them? Besides, can they get more than $300 if they approach you, or like if they have that courage to come to you and you help them to to facilitate their investment property.
Absolutely. So one thing I always say is before you invest in anything, educate yourself.
Sure.
Not because you want to be doing everything, but
Mhm.
it's good that you educate yourself. So when people are speaking their lingo, you will understand. You will not be lost in the source, and the people cannot take advantage of you for so many reasons like that. Another one is don't be afraid just to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
So I posted something earlier today. If you have a problem that is giving you headache and you just put up with that problem without tackling it and delaying it for tomorrow, you wake up tomorrow, that problem is still there and it's still giving you headache. That's you better check yourself. There's a problem. There's one somewhere. Something is wrong because you can easily get rid of that problem and live a free man life.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this. So I'm working with a client right now. If they want to rent out their house, the market value for that area on a renter is
Mhm.
around for 1,400
Okay.
for that kind of a house.
Okay.
We are looking right now to get 3,500, 3,500. That is a
Woo!
over 100% more than what they can get on a regular rent. And this is not the only benefit of working with us. Another benefit is we are putting a solid tenant in that house for them. People that are not going to default, people that are not going to damage the house, people that will take care of that property just as if it is theirs. That is the advantage number two. Now, we can now make it passive for them. They can now go somewhere else and, you know, invest the money that we are giving to them and then bring that property to us again. We can three times the money they are supposed to be getting. Now they will have more opportunity to double down. This is what people are not asking when they are thinking about property managers. I'm not really here to, advertise myself, but I'm pointing how this problem can be solved. If you have a house right now that you are only making 100, 200 on it, there's a problem somewhere and we need to
Yeah.
figure it out. We need to
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that is not normal. It is very normal.
Mhm.
But if you educate yourself or you work with someone that actually know the part,
Mhm.
you probably are leaving a lot of thousands of money on the table. I'm not going to say more than that. You are leaving a lot of thousands of money on the table.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is there are so many. You can go conventional property manager. They are going to get the regular tenants in your house. They don't want to care about anything. If the toilet breaks, they're going to charge you 1,000 to fix your toilet. If you want to go that route. But what I'm saying is if you follow the road, property manager are supposed to take all your investment and make it passive for you. They are not supposed to be bringing any headache for you. They are supposed to manage that headache for you. Of course, they don't want to take over your headache, but they are supposed to manage it for you in such a way that you don't even know they existed. And it doesn't even have an effect on them as well. So the property you bought and you are making 300 on that property right now, 100, 200. Don't quote me wrong. I'm not saying it's not normal.
Mhm.
It is absolutely normal. But in this time and age, 2024, it is not normal in ACO property. I'm not going to say more than that. So if you call free talk, a lot of time that problem will go away.
That's good.
So one thing I want people to note is you can invest as little as the money that you have right now and
Mhm.
be getting more than 30% of that every month on your property.
Yeah.
I just talked with one of our clients today, and that person is going to take a look at the property of 45,000 here in Indiana,
See?
here in Indianapolis. So if they get that property, do the little work that is needed, put that property on, kind of the strategy that we do, before you know it, they will be cash flowing 3,000, 2,000 or more on that
Wow,
house.
that's nice. Interesting.
So this is really not like boasting. It's really how it's supposed to be. It's really what people need to know about property manager. What you've been dealing with, the holding ways is gone.
Yeah.
Now it's 2024. If you are not making more than 5K, 500 and above on your renter, call me. There's a problem. We need to fix it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
If
I
you
mean,
are getting a bill of unnecessary 1,000 to fix the toilet, call me. There's a problem. We need to fix that too.
yeah.
I just got my toilet replaced yesterday. $0, Ibrahim. $0. That guy literally. You know what? You need to treat people right. When even though they've create a lot of headache in the past with my experience with them. You probably know what I'm talking about. But when they are even
Sure.
going to lunch, I cash up some money to them like, hey bro, have some good lunch, and when you come back, get back to work.
Mhm.
The guy came back. I show him, you know what, I bought this and I don't know how to fix it. That's what I told him. I don't know how to fix it. Can you fix it for me? He said, Ahmed, you know what? I'm gonna do it for free.
Yeah, because you being nice to him, being resourceful to him, he wants to provide value back to you. And this is what we have been talking on Do the Talk. I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
So this is why you need to switch a property manager that is still bringing you problem. This is why you need to not necessarily bring. I mean, I want uh the job, but I'm not saying just consult with me. Let's talk about it. Let me show you how you can make it happen.
Yeah.
These tenants are not going to default. It's just going to be spot on. So the value that you are supposed to be getting with your real estate investment, if you are not getting it, you are talking to the wrong person. Call Ibrahim. Anything that has to do with house, you can always get that resources on Do the Talk. You just need to ask your question in the chat, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I literally spent hours this week going through all our comments on YouTube, and I'm providing like your reply, solutions, stuff like that. So you will get your response at Do the Talk. Ibrahim is here, a well-known real estate agent in the Indiana market that can help you to buy the house. Property manager is here. I can connect you with your wholesalers. I can connect you with contractor. Ibrahim can connect you with so many other resources. So this is a one-stop shop for you if you want to jump into real estate investing in 2024. Don't sleep on it. Ibrahim, our time is running down. Any other thing?
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, you've said it all. I mean, this podcast, we are not here to make noise. I mean, I showed you a money that came from a temporary housing agency today into my account. That shows you that we are doing it. We are
Absolutely.
we are living the dream, not just dreaming the dream.
Hmm.
So what am I saying here? I'm
Deep.
saying that we are practically doing it. It's one thing to be thinking about it, mesmerizing about it, but not feeling or not actually doing it. But that's not the game here. We are professional, real estate professional. I'm a real estate broker. I mean, it's a property manager, an investor. So we are investing in real estate. We know how it is. It's one thing to go out there, like someone tell you about real estate, this, just because they've watched it on YouTube and all that. No, you don't want to. You don't want to put yourself into that. It's better you go close to people that are resourceful, people that are doing it, people that know, like they've made the mistake, they've learned they know the A to Z of ways and how tips and tricks how to get things done. That way you can have an edge. You can be in a better position. Okay. So we we are the top hour right now, man. So if you have anything to say, but first I want to ask you, if they want to reach out to you, how can they reach out to you?
I'm always open 24/7. You can DM me on any social media. Really, it's official Ahmed Lawal. Or look for ACO property. I'm always posting. You can always reach out to me on there. However, my direct line is 317 689 7075. You can call that line and I'm gonna be the one to pick up. I don't have an assistant yet. So I pick up on my phone and we are good. Ibrahim, can you hear me? Ibrahim. Oh, we are having some glitch.